good? Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Stan Smith. If anyone's picking up on this stream, I am running Till Death Do Us Part. This is the third night. I've ran this campaign. It's a one-shot. If in the future you plan on playing this campaign here at the store, you may not want to watch the video because there'll be spoilers. But if you are watching this campaign live and you can't hear anything, you have a comment, please put it in the chat. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around the table. The players are going to introduce themselves, and then we're going to start the campaign. So with that said, who are you starting? Who are you playing?
Hello, my name is Jondar, and I am a wizard.
Okay.
My name is Charlie. My name's Alec, and I'll be playing Pinky, a sorcerer.
My name's Kelvin, and I'll be playing Jaquavius, a paladin.
All right. So with that said, again, the chat's open, and feel free to make comments, questions, especially about the store, the game, and if you have comments about any of these players, suggestions, throw it on the chat. And once again, we have Walter Ortiz, who's helping record the third night of Till Death Do Us Part. So with that said, let's begin. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even heard. The most beautiful things must be felt within the heart. But does the heart blur what is true obsession, what's good or evil, or what's life and death? But more importantly, will your legacy be defined by the words you speak or the actions that you're going to take? And will you live long enough to see yourself become the hero or become something much darker? It is the 13th moon of the full equinox within the Dale lands of Favor. A modest city called Highdale is celebrating the union between the governor's daughter, the Duchess Cassandra Brightwood, and Lord Robert Kincaid. Each of you are attending the grand reception for the Duchess and Lord Kincaid's union at the governor's Banquet Hall. Torches, braziers, and brass chandeliers hang from the ceilings, illuminating this reception hall. All about this celebration, the sounds of music and friendly chatter consume the great hall. Tables are filled with all sorts of local dishes like savory pork, spiced lamb, steamed vegetables, and freshly baked goods. In the center of this large hall is an area used for dancing. It actually separates the banquet hall into two halves. To the north is a long decorated table which rests upon a stone dais. At this dais sits Governor Brightwood himself, several aristocrats, and of course the guests of honor, Cassandra Brightwood and Robert Kincaid. Though the newlyweds are in their early 20s, they're both very much in love. Pinky, put your character here. Pinky, you are a guard of the city watch. Yourself and a colleague named Mercury are at the entrance of the banquet hall, checking invitations and making sure the invitations are not counterfeit, and the guests that are coming are actually guests who are invited. Mercury stands next to you, and you are both good friends, went through the academy together, but you're bored. This party is for higher nobles, not for people like yourself. Your friend Mercury sort of leans next to you. Have you ever wondered why people as beautiful as the Duchess get to be courted by nobles, but not guys like us?
No, ma'am. I just do my job and I keep focused.
That's all we're being paid to do, but I tell you, one day things will change. One day things will change. And at that moment, an older couple comes walking in, probably in their early 60s, both with bleached bright hair, man and woman. They're wearing very expensive, elegant clothing. The man walks over to you with a smile, and he presents an invitation for you to inspect. I need you to take a dice, and you're going to make an investigation roll.
19.
Woo! Based on such a high roll, you read it, and it says, Mr. and Mrs. Blackwell of Blackwell's Goods and Trade. And as you study and analyze this invitation, it is a legitimate invitation. So they're waiting for your response.
You can come in.
Thank you, good sir. Thank you. And the man and woman go inside to mingle with the crowd. Just behind them, though, a very short, stocky dwarf wearing a formal outfit that's way too big comes walking in. He has a dark, thick beard, but it's one braid down the front going down to his belly. He looks up at you and Mercury with a forced smile. He slowly takes his trembling hand and gives you his invite. Make the roll.
17.
Wow. Better roll like that for the rest of the game. You guys are going to need it. As you inspect this one, it says Frederick Fireforge. But you look at it, and it looks fake. Now, I also need you to make a perception check.
9.
Wow, you need an 8 or higher. You notice also the dwarf's boots are very muddy and dirty. And his outfit's a little too big for a dwarf. And he's watching you stare at him. Mercury's picking up on your cues that something's wrong.
Can I hand Mercury the invitation and tell him, what do you think?
He looks at it. He looks at you. It doesn't look good to me. Tell him where he should go. And he gives you back the info. The dwarf is looking at you all nervous now.
I don't beat it.
He growls. I don't need to be mingling with these nobles anyway. And he mumbles and gruffs, leaves off. At that moment, the Mercury sort of smiles at you and goes, "This is why I like working with you. No one can slip past you. You're a Hawkeye."
Thanks.
And again, you guys go back, and he's a really good friend of yours. But he says to you, the irony is that dwarf will be able to mingle with people. Will never be able to mingle with people like this place. Neither can you and I. But I'll tell you what. Like I said, sometimes things and luck will change. I think our luck will change, as he says to you. At that moment, Jandar, put your figure right between that spot right there. Excellent. Jandar, as you sit with family and friends enjoying this reception, your older sister, Juliana, plops a slab of meat from her plate onto yours. Juliana, she expresses a look of disgust because she's a known vegetarian. And as other guests sit at your table and enjoying food and conversation, she slowly leans towards you. "Little brother, I have a question for you."
Yes?
Do you ever wonder how or know why Lord Kincaid met our cousin, Cassandra?
No, not really. I just went along with it. No questions asked.
Okay, now in this case, Cassandra is actually your cousin, and the governor is your uncle, okay? So Juliana leans in closer to you. Goes, "I figure you didn't know the story, but I think you're old enough to know." As it seems to get quiet around the reception hall, Juliana says to you, "Somebody like our cousin's stature, a duchess, they can only marry somebody of high nobility. So, of course, people from all over Faerun and the Dalelands have been trying to win her hand. But there's this one subject, Count Armand Mortis. You see, he couldn't handle rejection. He was very creepy. So he would bother our cousin non-stop, trying to win her hand, almost like a stalker. He became obsessed with Cassandra. Until one day, he started getting so close to the house, it made her nervous, and she told her uncle. So the governor forbid him from trying to win her hand and banished him from Highlands. Well, needless to say, that didn't go over well with him, and like most crazy psychos, Lord Armand Mortis, he couldn't handle rejection, so he did the one thing possible that a coward like him would do. He took his own life. So needless to say, our cousin Cassandra was upset about this whole mess, and that's when Lord Kincaid showed up, like a knight on a white horse. He swept her off her feet, and he was there for emotional support. Now, she tells you the story, and then she points over to the far table to your left. "Little brother, do you see the woman in the corner with the hood, the old woman?"
Yes.
That is Lady Amelia. She is actually Lord Count Armand Mortis's mother. The psycho who killed himself. I mean, make a perception roll.
Oh, that one.
Okay. All you could pick up on her is that she looks very sad. But within that one, you're not going to really get anything else with that horrible
Yeah, she
roll.
looks really sad.
So, she is, but you also see the man next to her, the older man with the armor.
Yeah.
Make a perception roll. 8 or higher.
9.
You got a 9?
Yeah.
And now you also know how to add your
Yeah.
Okay. The man next to her, the old woman, Lady Amelia, his name is Griswold the Black. He is the bodyguard for Amelia in the House Mortis. But you notice when you look at him, he's an older guy. He's also in his 50s, with short white hair. He has a lot of scars on his face and a large squared chin. He's wearing a formal military uniform, ceremonial armor. He has a blue hooded cape with a wolf pelt on its back. And as he looks around the area, his eyes actually lock onto yours. It sends chills down your spine, and his eyes back away from you. Juliana says to you, he's obviously someone, little brother, that we don't want to mess with.
Jeez. Well, I'll stay away from him.
She sort of smiles at you. No worries, though. Everything will be fine. What possibly can go wrong in this beautiful occasion? I need you to take your character, put him in the corner right in front of that plant. Yep. Now that's a raised dais. It goes up, and you're right on the other side. It's like a stage, right? Everyone is having a great time, but not everyone attending this wedding is here to play. Duchess, you are the trusted bodyguard of Lord Robert Kincaid. Robert is at the dais celebrating his marriage to the Duchess Cassandra of Brightwood. And as you watch everyone celebrating this wedding, you're not. Because you're not here to celebrate and party. You've been the trusted, loyal bodyguard of House Kincaid for over a decade. Even at this festival, you find the need to watch and protect because you always are aware something can go wrong. You notice that Lord Kincaid at the dais sort of makes eye contact with you with a smile and holds up a beautiful silver chalice to honor you for your helping him out at this wedding. And he bows his head to you.
I nod.
Back at him? Excellent. And he drinks it. And you also see that his new wife, Cassandra, the Duchess, she's also drinking from a beautiful silver chalice. But still, you're all work, and you're watching everyone. Make a perception roll. These are going to be low rolls for you. You think you see something that should get to your attention, but you miss it. And that's because you actually took your eyes off the area to look over at the dais. You're not going to let that happen again. Let's do another perception roll. What is it? Wisdom. Anyone?
One again. Waited.
Wow, with Rice shaking it really well with both hands and just dropping it. So, and lastly, you have one more opportunity to see something out of the ordinary. Throw it up and let it go. There you go. Excellent. So certain things keeps you on edge. You look out at the windows to the night sky. The moon is exceptionally large and blue. The craters on the moon make the moon resemble a skull. And from your family and down your chain, where you're from, a skull moon is a bad omen. For something may go wrong on this wedding. This moment, the governor stands up and everyone goes to their seats and they sit quietly. Mercury leans towards you. My buddy, this is the part where they all blow smoke up each other's butts.
Gotta laugh.
You both laugh at each other, but you do it quietly, not to bring attention. The governor stands up and he looks at everyone. As the proud father of my beautiful daughter Cassandra, I want to thank you all for coming to honor her at her wedding to the handsome Lord Robert Kincaid. And as tradition with weddings like these, this is the opportunity for anyone to come up and say a speech to honor them during this great occasion. Now Juliana sort of leans towards you. You're not going up there, are you?
Yeah, I will.
Ooh. Say, the rest of you hear the sound of a chair sliding across the floor, and it echoes. And all eyes turn towards the table where you see, what type of character are you?
I'm a human.
A bard?
No, I'm a wizard.
A wizard. So you see a younger looking wizard, almost a Harry Potterish type of kid stand up. And he looks around, and next to him is a beautiful blonde, early 20s. She has a big smile, a proud smile on her face as she's looking at him. All eyes are on you.
Thank you all for coming here today to honor the marriage of my cousin, Cassandra and her beautiful husband, very handsome. I don't remember his name.
Kincaid, Robert.
Robert Kincaid. So I just want to thank you. She's gone through a lot of tough times recently, and Robert has really helped our family and her through a lot of tough times. So just thank you, Robert. I hope your marriage is long and prosperous.
Huzzah! And they all hold up a glass of the chalices, and they drink from it at the dais. And Robert and your cousin have big smiles on their faces. And your sister, as you go to sit back down, your sister's like, "Good job, little brother, good job." It's a very nice speech, and he sits down. There's a quiet still, no one's else stepping up. The governor looks around, and then you hear the sounds of a chair squeaking across the floor once again. Can I get the old woman's token and the guy next to it? Can you give me those? And if you could take these two tokens, put these two at the bottom of the stairs between those two guards facing the dais.
Below the guards or
Below, right there. Yep. You see at the first table an old woman being escorted by a man in military garb, walking up holding her arm. And as they get to the bottom of the stairs, they both stop. The guard sort of moves to the side and takes out his large sword and places it on the ground, and he stares up at the dais. The old woman has a forced smile about her face. I am Lady Amelia of House Mortis, and I want to extend a thank you for the invite to this lovely occasion. Though my son, the Count Armand Mortis's actions were startling, and his failure to handle rejection hurt the family, I can assure you, Governor, there is no ill will whatsoever. And to show no ill will, the chalices the newlyweds drink from today are from the House Mortis, passed down from generations. And they are gifts to you all. And lastly, Governor, she says, may the gods comfort you during this time of grief. Now everyone hears the word grief, and even you guys, you're all looking around like, what the hell is the name? The governor says, grief? What do you mean grief? And at that moment, the sounds of two chalices falling onto the main table draws everybody's attention up to the dais, where you see the Duchess and Robert Kincaid standing up with their eyes wide open. Both the newlyweds, their skins turn bright pale. Their eyes flip back into their heads and they start grabbing their throats, trying to breathe. They both suddenly crash to the floor of the dais. There's an audible sound of from everyone in this banquet hall. The old woman says, in 4 hours, Governor, you too will feel what it's like to lose a child. She sort of bows sadistically. Her guard next to her gets into a defensive stance as he steps back with his large sword. And he says, I do not expect to leave here alive, but I do expect to take many of you with me. And suddenly at that moment, the governor yells, guards, seize him! Two of the guards at the front rush him, and with lightning speed and the skill of a veteran warrior, he chops them down. Blood sprays across the floor, and it's bright red. Give me those two tokens. Mercury looks to you. That's us! That's us! We have to stop this! So, we're gonna go around the table collectively, and you guys tell me what to do. Now, mind you, Robert Kincaid, even though he's your employer, he's like a brother to you. You've gone fishing with him, you've gone hunting together, and you were actually the first person he told when he said he was going to propose to Cassandra. So this sort of is close to your heart, okay? What would you like to do at this moment?
Well, I think I'm gonna attack the bed.
You gonna attack who?
The ward.
Okay, the warrior's name is Griswold the Black. So you're gonna need to move over there, or you want to do a distant attack?
Right, have it. I'll do a distant attack. I need a D6. Use my javelin.
Okay, so roll a 20-sided dice first as you take your javelin and you go to throw it. Oh! it flies across the room. And as you're ready to go and you're seeing this, you guys see a blur of a stick come flying from the shadows in the corner and it impales him to his side. Griswold yells in pain. Roll for damage.
That's the D6, right?
Yep. The javelin? Yep.
Alright, 6
Plus
3.
9 points of damage. That is such a deadly hit. He is very bloody. Next, that was excellent. Are you going to move forward or are you going to stay back?
Oh, I'm gonna stay back.
Okay.
I saw him slice up those guards.
Okay. That was a lot of damage, bro.
Thank you.
You can go. Where you're sitting at that table, what would you like to do? You can run over there, get closer. You can cast.
I want to run up to my dying cousin.
Up on the dais?
Yeah.
Okay, so each box like this is 5 feet. So you need to count, and you can move diagonally as well, and you can, I think, up to 30 maybe.
Yeah.
Now you can do a dash. A dash is double your move, so it's 60 feet, but you
Yeah.
can't do anything else. You gonna do a dash?
Yeah, I guess I'll dash.
Okay.
4, 5, 10, 11, 12. There.
Awesome.
60.
All right, you don't have any bonus actions you want to cast or anything, or anything to do?
No.
Okay. Your turn.
Okay, I want to go over here. So I'm right here.
Mercury's going to be moving with you, so you move him too, okay?
1, 2. So these are all 5 feet. So
Yeah. You can dash,
then
or do 30 and do something.
30. I'll dash, I guess. 1, 2, 3.
Now you two, the only 2 guards that are left in this reception hall. Now you can't do any other actions unless you have a bonus action.
Oh no. I'll just kind of ready myself.
Yep. And what do you plan ready?
A spell.
Okay.
I'm prepared.
What spell is that?
Sleep.
Ooh, nice. Okay. Now it's going to be Griswold sees that he's hurt and he rips out the javelin and he has an angry look about himself and he stares over in the corner to where it came from. Ah! He yells and he holds it and he starts running towards you. Let's move him 30 feet. So he's actually gonna be at that chair. Put him right at the chair. Right there. He's still not too, but he's running at you. So next round he'll be right on top of you. Top of the order. Your turn.
Morning Star, would I be able to hit him?
You can move. You gotta move up one more spot because then you'll be in his range.
Okay.
And then you take you with that weapon and you can go to town. Now he's hurt really bad, so if you get a lucky roll, you possibly can take him out. And being the bodyguard to Lord Kincaid, I think it's time for redemption.
Yeah, I'm gonna move that one. 5 feet.
Yep.
Move him, then 10 feet.
And now you face the man, Griswold the Black. He's injured, but he's still very dangerous.
Okay, I'm gonna use my Morning Star.
Go for it.
DA.
Get a DA ready. Let's do it, brother.
20.
Wait a minute, what?
Nat 20.
Huzzah! Natural 20 right out the gate. Whoa. Now, first off, that's what I do is it's double the damage, right? But because you do 8 points of damage, I usually let people immediately, they automatically do the full amount of damage first with their weapon, which is 8. Well, lucky for you, Griswold the Black only has 8 points left. Describe to us how you dispatched this evil knight.
Alright, the Morning Star, I swing it, and I plunge it into the side of his neck, and I kind of stick it in there, and I twirl it around, and I pull it back out.
He gaggles and tries to breathe, and his eyes widen as he expected to take out more. But on this night, he made a big error, and that error was trying to attack you. And he falls face to the ground. Blood sprays and goes towards your boots. He's motionless. You just took him out. Give me that figure. Good job. Lady Amelia is still at the dance floor. But it starts to get quiet, but everyone is still very, very concerned. Jandar, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna try to help my cousin. Still.
All right, get up to the dais. Right there in the front of the dais. Yep. Now you start pushing by and you see your uncle's on the ground. He's hysterical. There's a cleric up there. There's several other nobles trying to wake them up. And you look down, make a medicine check.
19.
Wow, good job. You could tell that they're seriously have been poisoned by something.
Can I, like, try to take a blood sample?
But you see no blood, unless you're gonna pierce them and take a blood sample.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I have a vial. I don't think so.
No, so you know that you possibly cannot do that.
Yeah. Probably not. I guess I just like hold her in my arms.
Okay, you reach up and you hold her. Your uncle actually looks at you with the saddest of eyes, and with his hand, he holds onto yours as well. It's your close family. Juliana runs up and she's behind you also, and she places her hands on your shoulder. And your sister, for the first time you've seen her, very sad. You've never seen your sister this emotional as well. Pinky,
Okay.
you and Mercury are there, and you see the old woman sort of smiling, and she's just standing there.
Would this be about 90 feet?
That's way close, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll cast Sleep, point of origin here,
Okay.
and it says 5d8, and the total is how many hit points of creatures the spell can affect.
Okay, so what do I have to do?
Starting with the creature that has the lowest current hit points, each creature affected by the spell falls unconscious until the spell ends. The sleeper takes, so like, whoever has the low, like it's a 20-foot radius around her, and whoever like has the lowest.
Now my saving throw, what do I have to do?
It doesn't. I don't think it needs a saving throw. I think it doesn't say it needs a saving throw. It just says undead and creatures are immune to being charmed.
Okay.
Or like being, yeah.
So how many rounds is she gonna be out for?
Duration 1 minute.
So how many rounds? You get to roll as the hit points?
Yeah, I rolled 5d8.
Go ahead.
So 6, 4, 1, 13, 21. Yeah. Does she fall asleep?
And she drops to the ground. Lay her flat, please.
Can I get Mercury to like go like hold a knife fight, like hold her?
Tell him.
Mercury, go get her.
I'm on it! And he runs over there, slides on his knees as he takes a blade and he places it to her throat.
Yeah.
But she's sleeping. She's out cold. Why don't you move your character up to? Okay. Any bonus actions or anything else?
Well, I kind of have so it says the creature. Wait. So it says that I can slap them awake, right? So can I do that until I can try to like get her to cure?
Yeah, and when you're thinking about that, not only does Mercury have a knife to her, but he actually quickly used some rope to bind her hands. And he looks over up at you. Go ahead, she's ready. You slap her eyes sort of wake up, blaze like, and she looks up at you with this very sadistic little grin on her face, smiling. Your magic is only effective temporarily, my son. You should have let me sleep. Let me die so I could join my child, Armand.
Can I intimidate her to give us the what poison are they on?
Make an intimidation roll.
6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9.
No, that's fine. She sort of smiles at you. The poison that runs through their bodies is necrotic. There is nothing you can do, or anybody else in this house, that can save them.
I don't know what to do.
Okay. At this juncture, everyone's at the dais. You moved up. You're going to go check on Robert. You look down and you see your close employer, your ally, your dear friend is lying unconscious. And from what you heard, the soldier, the city guard, intimidate this woman to say, time is of the essence. There is a cleric, however, that's also on the dais as well. And he goes down and he starts inspecting those silver chalices. He places them down. He says, I know of this. This is necrotic magic. And the only antidote is something that is beyond imagination, but it's something somebody must try. The antidote to stop necrotic energy must be from a necrotic creature. We need to find the bone dust of a lich.
Really?
The governor says, "A lich? What the hell is a lich?" The cleric says, "My lord, it is an undead creature that lives amongst the dead. And the only such rumors of a creature like that can be found within the depths of Shadow Hill Cemetery within Lurkwood Forest. But my lord, I must tell you, everyone who's been to that cemetery has not returned." The governor gets up from the ground, his eyes all filled with water and tears. "Is there anybody that can help my daughter and her newlywed husband?" And at this moment, it's super quiet. But then Mercury sort of leans to you. "I think this is your time. This is your time," he says.
And I raise like my hand and says, "I will."
And at this single moment of hope, a city guard stands up and he holds up his hand with a chant, "I will!"
This governor still looks around for volunteers and everyone's too scared.
I guess I'll go too.
You suddenly see a noble bodyguard stepping forward, and he's looking around. He holds up his hand as well to volunteer.
I feel like in this situation, you wouldn't really do anything because you're so distraught with grief, but I'll feel like I'll go as well.
And then you see the third volunteer standing up. Behind him, his sister looking at him proud with tears in her eyes. The governor sees the three bravest people in the hall as he stares at all of you. "Very well. May the gods grant this fellowship haste and the strength to succeed to save my daughter and her son-in-law. May the gods be with you on this quest." And everybody in the hall raises their hands and they start cheering on this new of heroes. And with that moment, you guys head off.
Can I search the lady
Yes.
first? Yeah.
And you search her, she has absolutely nothing of value on her. And if you search the guard, he just has a massive long sword.
Oh,
Nothing
I
else.
thought they have something. Never mind. Wait, can I search their seats in case they left something?
Yeah, and for argument's sake, there's nothing else there in the seats.
Yeah, okay.
So at this point, what we're going to do is you guys are going to head off to some crazy stuff. We're going to take a break. I'm going to set up the next piece, and then we're going to get rolling. So if you guys want to get up and stretch, and you can do that, and I'll call you back in, or we can start once it's set up. All right, Walter, we're good, bro.